With the tragic death of Charlie Kirk, we see a tremendous groundswell. There are many parallels. I'm not saying that he's Jesus Christ or the Father. He wasn't. He was a great man, a great young man, as I said, but died in his early 30s, much like Jesus, died in a horrific way, which is going to influence the world greatly, particularly this country, in terms of his growth and his influence for Turning Point USA and people that support it, those who want to step into the void, that want to help. I would like to do that. I could be a father figure, in effect, at these universities. We all need to pitch in to continue his great work. And of course, why was he murdered? He was murdered because the Democrats and the left saw how influential he is, and they wanted to eliminate him before the midterm elections. That's quite clear. I also don't believe, frankly, that the person that the FBI has in its custody either did it or acted alone. This was a professional job from 200 yards in the carotid artery. To have a kid go up there with a half an hour to set it up and to take a shot like that, frankly, is hard to believe, I got to say. I know that others have said that as well, but there had to be somebody else involved at least, and perhaps, he became the fall guy for whatever reason, for his own self-aggrandizement, because obviously the kid is mentally ill. He has a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you want to call it, a creature who's his significant other, who's a tranny. He's got some issues here. But, the FBI has a history of pinning blame on individuals that didn't do it. You remember the Olympic bombing? They pinned it on Richard Jewell. He was innocent. You remember the anthrax attacks after 9/11? Two individuals were fingered by the FBI. One of them committed suicide. Neither of them did it. They still don't know who did it. We've got a whole long history, whether it's JFK, whether it's Martin Luther King, whether it's President Trump. We don't know who tried to assassinate him the first time, really, either. So take it with a grain of salt. But here's the bottom line, is that Charlie Kirk will be much more powerful in death, sadly, and this was God's plan, than he was even alive. And there's a groundswell to join his movement and to get his word out. And there are parallels with Jesus, although he's not Jesus. But that's an interesting thought. And what's also interesting is that many entertainers who otherwise are liberal or just outright leftist have done tributes to him. Probably not because they were a great fan, but they want to cash in right now. Celine is probably conservative, but there are others out there who are not, and you can go out on the internet and find those songs. And frankly, they're great. They're great songs, and they're very, very moving. So you can see how he's moving the earth. And the Democrats are scared to death that they have unleashed, as Charlie Kirk's widow said, a whirlwind that's going to blow them over. We are at war with the left. They must be eliminated peacefully and legally. There is not enough room in this country for both of us. That doesn't mean you harm them physically. It means you eliminate them from our body politic, from having any influence on our system. And today we saw a disgraceful display by Senator Cory Booker, who attacked Kash Patel, and also Adam, as we say, Shifty Schiff. Kash Patel dished it right back. But these are the vile people of the left. They are politicians. And then you have Ilhan Omar, Nancy Mace, who is the most courageous person in Congress. I know her. She does what she says she's going to do. She doesn't back down. She's the only one, frankly, there that you can trust 100%. She's made an issue of having Ilhan Omar, the radical Islamic leftist who supports Hamas, who has trashed Charlie Kirk after his death, removed from committees in Congress. She's moving to censure him today with hopefully Republican support. Republicans have always been scared of doing that because of the backlash. But you can't equate Ilhan Omar to a good Muslim. There are many good Muslims, but she's not one of them. She's a terrorist sympathizer. My client Laura Loomer years ago uncovered that she had defrauded the ICE, to get her green card. She married her brother to get the green card. Then she committed alleged tax fraud. She should have been deported. In fact, I filed a petition during the first Trump administration to have her deported, to investigate it. It sat there. I think the people in and around President Trump liked having her there because she was a foil. She was someone that you could basically beat up on to make a point. But now it's beyond the pale. And I wouldn't do that anyway. I would do things on principle and get rid of the woman peacefully and legally and send her back to Somalia. In fact, that's what Nancy Mace is suggesting as well. But these people cannot be allowed to continue on unabated in Congress or any other part of our society. And again, it doesn't mean harming them at all, but we must reduce them to nothing in terms of their influence and put them out to pasture, put them in a, figuratively speaking, in a prison where they have to deal with each other, frankly. And many of them are criminals. Ilham Omar is a criminal. So is Rashida Tlaib, her other vile leftist brethren, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in the same boat. These are the things that we do at Freedom Watch. I filed this petition. I'm bringing it to President Trump's attention right now. He should resurrect it. It's been sitting there at the INS. It's now Homeland Security. Let's start deportation proceedings and get rid of her and send her back to Somalia and use that as an example for the other leftists that want to whip up hatred, violence, and death for conservatives, people of faith, and those who believe in the vision and creation of our founding fathers. And we'll seek prosecutions with our citizens' grand juries as well. So I want you to go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute to our cause, freedomwatchusa.org. Contribute to our cause with tax-deductible contributions. We are your real Justice Department. We're complementary to Pam Bondi's Justice Department and Trump's Justice Department. We can do things they can't do. And we will be much more direct in what we can say to influence the American people, to move right, to move conservative, to move to God. God bless you. God bless your family. God save America. Remember, the Father and Son will only help us if we help ourselves. Thank you for listening to me. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, go to freedomwatchusa.org. Join our Justice League. Contribute with tax-deductible contributions to our cause. We need your help to represent you, the American people. God bless you.